Hello everyone and welcome back to the YCL. Today I'm up against the Hustle Gods in round 2 of the playoffs of the first season of the YCL. You can see on the screen my team and Kings Rock team, which is the Hustle Gods, and how they line up against each other. Last time we faced each other, I came out on top with Ladius putting in a lot of work early, but I think a lot of work late game. I think this game could be similar to the last game. Whoever builds that momentum in the early stages of the game, will generally come out on top. Both our teams seem to be really good at forcing each other out. So there's going to be a lot of switching. It's going to be a lot of predicting. Item control is going to be really important. I think that he's going to have some pretty bulky mons in his team, which is pretty normal for a Trick Room team, which his obviously is. I think on his team, the ones that I sort of have to be worried about, as they're going to be quite hard to take down, are things like Glastria and Steelix, which can cause me a lot of issues. On my team, he's going to really want to get rid of things like obviously Melodic, Colossal, and Thwacky. So I think there's going to be a lot of switching in and out, getting chip. I'm going to be working really hard on my item control, similar to how I did last time, but I've got a bit of a different approach, as you'll see in a moment. So last time I did lead with Choice Scarf Ladius, and I tricked it onto his Hatterene on the first turn when he set Trick Room, which made his Trick Room kind of fall apart a little bit and helped me in the late game. Where Ladius came in, got 3 kills, would have got the 4th, but we ran out to timer. And again today, we won't be playing on land play. Kings Rock can't set that up, which is unfortunate because I think after last time, I can expect him to play a bit differently, and it might slow down the game a bit. So I'm not sure if we'll get through the whole game in the 20 minutes, but we'll see how we go. One of us might get on top early, and it might happen, but we'll see. Alright, so I think I'll be leading with Lipard in this game. It's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's just to, put him on the back foot a little bit. So if he does lead Hatterene, he might go for a Trick Room. I'm going to fake out just to I guess get a bit of a look out, bit of scouting for what he might do. So if he goes Zapdos, obviously I don't want to use Thunder Wave and him bounce it back. Whereas if I go Fake Out and he stays in, generally he's probably going to stay in and go for a U-turn. So then I can feel pretty safe going for a Thunder Wave. Looking to knock off at least something's item. Possibly Hatterene, possibly Zapdos. We'll just see what happens. Copycat's obviously there, so if he sets Trick Room, then I can use Copycat and get Prankster Trick Room again to reset it. I don't really want him getting any early going, so if he goes for Trick Room and Calm Mind and I've gone for Knockoff already, then that instantly puts him on the back foot. So that's kind of what Lipard's there for. If I do lead that, I really don't want to be coming up against Steelix. So Steelix is probably the worst thing that I can come up against with the set that I've brought for Lipard. He might think that I'm going for Taunt though, which I didn't bring on Lipard, which might cause him to switch out or go for Body Press if he's got it, or another attack. Obviously Lipard's not really bulky, so it dies pretty easily, hence why I've got the Focus Sash on it, and why I'll be leading with it. So Lipard's not super important, other than in the early game. So it can also be around. I might switch it out when it's on 1 HP and then bring it back for a sack later in the game, but we'll just see how it plays out. Next I've got my Lodic. I've gone for the same set as last time. So bulky defensive with Marvel Scale and Flame Orb to boost that defense. Pretty standard set apart from Light Screen, which I've got that because pretty much all the time, if I've got Melodic in, he's going to be switching in Apple Turn. I just want to set Light Screen and then switch out to usually Thwacky. If Thwacky's gone, then I've still got Colossal for it, and they just handle it a lot better with that Light Screen up. I've got Hayes just in case he tries to get some stat boosts. I've got Scalds to obviously keep out things like Zapdos, Glastria, Steelix, and Recover to keep myself healthy. You can see there I'm going to be switching in on things like Zapdos, Steelix, and Glastria all the time. I don't want to stay in against Appleton, obviously. You can see on the screen that it's taking quite a bit, but if I do get rid of his choice specs, if he does bring choice specs again, which I'd be surprised if he didn't, and I can get light screen up, then being in up against Appleton for at least one Apple Acid, it's not the worst thing. I can maybe use Recover while he uses Apple Acid and then switch out in the next turn. That just helps me stay healthy. I've got Thwacky, which is my switch in to Appleton. If Appleton's gone, then I probably don't need Thwacky as much, but it's still going to be useful for using knockoff and U-turn, just building some momentum, especially good having something bulky that's not super slow. It's going to outspeed a lot of his team, obviously except for like Zapdos and Chandelure, which it can't stay in on. Yeah, so it's just a really safe switch into Appleton. You can see there I'm not taking a great deal of damage from it, so that's why I've gone for Thwacky. Nidoking, so as you can see on the screen, early game I'm looking to get up rocks because even though I did this last time, I just can't see him. If I switch in Nidoking on Appleton, he's never switching in Hatterene because he'll be too wary of the risk of switching straight into a Sludge Wave, and he just won't want to do that. So yeah, early I'm looking to get up rocks. Middle of the game I'm looking to switch in on things that can't survive against it, just get a bit of chip on his team. And then late game, if I can put in some good early work, then it's got the potential to just run through his team, especially if Zapdos is gone and if he's not setting up Trick Room. I can just put a hell of a lot of pressure on him, especially if I've got rocks up. Then I've got Latias. I've gone for the same set as last time, which did really well against him. So it speed creeps his Galarian Zapdos. So if he tries to set up with bulk ups or if he's choice banded or anything, I can just come in with a Psychic. It can't one-hit KO his Zapdos with a general set, but if I get rocks up, then it is a guaranteed one-hit KO. I'm happy to also trick the Choice Scarf onto Hatterene, which I did last time, which might obviously not be an early game play, more likely to be your sort of mid-game play. If I switch in my Latias into his Appleton, he might expect a Draco Meteor, switch to Hatterene, I can go for the trick and then just switch out again, and it just puts him in a really, really tricky spot, and again just helps set up for a Nidoking late game. I've got Colossal as my last Pokemon, so Heavy Duty Boots again. It's my only Pokemon that's weak to Stealth Rock, so it's good to have those Heavy Duty Boots. I've got Spikes again, mostly looking to trap Hatterene, so if he expects me to go for hazards, he could expect me to set Stealth Rocks or Spikes like last time, switches in Hatterene, and I go for Fire Spin to trap him, then I can just kill him with Heavy Slam, and I'm taking less damage from him than he is from me, so it's just a good way to get rid of Hatterene, and I've set it to be specially defensive. But that's pretty much its role there. So if I can get up Spikes, that's great, but I think it's a pretty good way to deal with Hatterene as well, and obviously being trapped, there's not really anything he can do about it. Alright, so that is the team. We'll get started in a moment, so wish us luck. Yeah, let's do it. We're back for our rematch against the Hustle Gods, this time in a playoff match. The only Pokemon that he brought that I didn't expect was Wartortle. I thought he might bring Chandelure instead. But yeah, that's his team. I'm going to lead Lipard, which was pretty much the whole plan the whole time. Obviously I just don't really want him to lead with Steelix, but it does give me a chance to send out Melodic to get that Flame Orb up to boost its defense. Alright, yeah, we're pretty happy with that. let the game begin. King's Cross got a cool trainer card as well. Alright, let's do it. Alright, he does go for Zapdos. I'm not going to go for the Thunder Wave straight away, just in case he goes into Hatterene. So I'm actually going to go for Fake Out. Yeah, withdraws. So he probably goes into Hatterene here. No, Glastrier. Interesting. It's tempting to just go for knockoff here. Just to see what he's running, because he could be running an Assault Vest. See if he's got a setup as well, because if he's got a setup, then I can go for Thunder Wave. Alright, see what he's running. Lumberry, okay. Alright, then I'm just going to switch into Melodic here. So Lumberry could be for maybe to avoid a burn from Colossal. Could also be for, I guess, a burn on Melodic as well. What else could it be? Maybe if he's got Outrage. Probably more likely for a burn though, I think. Alright, so I think he's probably going to switch into possibly Appleton, so I'm just going to go for a Light Screen. I think Appleton comes out here. Yep. He's probably... Yeah, I'm happy to just go into Thwacky here. He tanks Appleton pretty well. I think he just goes for Apple Acid here. Be interesting to see if he uses Spec Set. There's Draco Meteor. Gets decent damage, but lowers his special attack, so that's fine. He was probably expecting me to go into Latias here, which, you know, makes sense. Alright, he switches out here. Probably goes into Glastrier, so I'm just going to go for U-turn. No point going for knockoff on Glastrier at this point. Yeah, and he does. Alright, we just go back into Melodic and then use Recover. It's tempting to use Scald here, but I think he just goes into either Appleton or War Turtle, so it's not too much point. Yep, back into Appleton. Alright, how much more? Alright, so one more light screen turn. So yeah, I think we just go back into Thwacky. See what he does here. See if he goes for Apple Acid again, or Draco Meteor. Goes for Apple Acid this time. Doesn't do a lot, but he's still getting some chip on Thwacky. And that light screen wears off. We'll go for knockoff this time. Withdraws. Does he go back into Glastria? Yeah. That's fine, because I can still switch into Melodic again here. I wouldn't be surprised if he just doubles here. Gloucester is really slow, so I can probably just U-turn here. Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of speed investment to outspeed me here. And just get a bit more chip. And straight back into Melodic. I'm surprised he didn't double there. So I was probably a bit safer going for the U-turn just in case he did switch. Goes into Taunt, which is interesting. Not bad, not bad. If he's going into Taunt, probably means that he's going into Appleton this turn. I'm happy to just go for Scald here because I don't want to risk going into Thwacky, you know, without it being necessary. Don't want to over predict that. He does withdraw. Yeah, goes into Appleton. Right, don't get the burn. I do like that from him though, like going for Taunt on Glassjaw, pretty good move. Obviously there's going to come a point where, you know, Thwacky's struggling for health, so alright, what's he got? Probably Draco Meteor here. Yep. Oof. Big damage, obviously, without that light screen. Right, we'll just go for U-turn again here. Draws. we do just go... I was just considering there going into Nidoking because nothing really wants to switch into Nidoking, but just a touch early for that. Alright, we just go for light screen now. He probably uses Taunt. Yep. Alright, and we just go for Scald here. We are unfortunately probably going to have to sack Thwacky at the moment. I mean, he could go for Apple Acid here, but I just don't think it's a good time for me to go into Nidoking or Latias. So yeah, we do just go into Thwacky. Okay. That's not too bad. Just going to go for knockoff here, just in case he does want to stay in. He might be tempted to stay in here and go for another Apple Acid, expecting the U-turn, so I'm happy to just go for knockoff. Oh, he does withdraw. Okay. And then we just U-turn out. He probably goes for Taunt. Yeah, this is where it gets a bit disappointing that we couldn't get land play set up. Like, it's just obviously just not the same. Alright, I'm just going to switch straight into Thwacky here. See if he stays in. Yeah, withdraws. Yeah, goes into Appleton. Yeah, we just go for knockoff again. There we go. Get rid of those choice specs. Just wanted to limit that damage, so that's good. We will lose Thwacky, but we're fine with that. Alright. Nidoking can come in here. he knows that he dies to Sludge Wave here and even Ice Beam, so from Sludge Wave. So he's not going to switch in Hatterene here, so we're just going to go for Stealth Rocks. I mean, if he can read this and go for Hatterene, good on him, honestly. Yeah, Steelix. Yeah, so he did predict the Sludge Wave, obviously. Alright. Yeah, let me just go into Melodic. He's probably going to set his own rocks here. Wow. Wow. Damn. Did not see that coming. Oh, King's Rock. I don't know about that. In prep, I had a lot of issues with Steelix, so to see that go down to an explosion, wow. Damn. Whew. Alright. Now, it's tempted to just sack Lipard here, but I think this is a good chance to go out into Colossal. Damn, that was crazy. He didn't even get Rock Salt. Alright, I'm gonna go for Fire Spin here just to try and trap something. So we're running out of time here. Like, I feel like I'm well in front, but War Turtle, go. It's just sort of frustrating. Like, I don't know who's in front on HP and stuff, but I'm just going to Melodic. He probably rapid spins here. Yeah, see, 2 minutes left. Yeah, flip turn. Okay, that's pretty smart. Right, going to Lipard here. We'll just sack off Lipard and then bring in Nidoking. His only real safe switch in to Nidoking at the moment is War Turtle. But even then, it's not that safe. It's just like, I don't know where to play there, because like, he's in front, you know, 5-4 here, but it's just done. Like, in the match, I feel like I'm way in front. Like, I don't know what the call is on that. Like, he can just sort of stall this out a little bit. I don't know. Alright, he loses. Glastrier here. don't actually know what the damage rolls are there, but Melodic's always our switch into Zapdos. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, gives me the win. So, I mean, I get the win there, but like, I'd rather just go to the end of the game because it was shaping up as a really good game. But there's just nothing. I mean, it's not Kings Rock's fault, but you know, obviously playing with land play is just a lot. You know, it's just a lot better. Like, we would have got a conclusive result. I think I do between Nidoking and Latias. I think we just you know, clean up the rest of his team, but it would have taken another at least 10 minutes just switching around, getting opportunities to heal up with Melodic, getting that chip damage with Stealth Rock. So, you know, it would have taken time to get that done, but that's a match. I'll move on now until our next week's match, which will decide who goes into the championship game. So yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. Alright, thanks for watching the battle. Welcome back. So I've just finished watching the battle with myself and the Hustle God. So there was a few turns basically in a row that were obviously really important. Obviously most of the match was pretty much Glastria and Thwacky, not in against each other, but just trading damage for each other with Milotic and Appleton being the other switch-ins that were both staying relatively healthy. The little sequence that took place that kind of mattered was my predicted switch from his Glastria into Appleton. I hard switched from Melodic into Thwacky. Because of that, he was forced to make a decision. He decided to leave his Appleton in while I went for knockoff, got rid of his choice specs. So +1 for me in terms of building a bit of pressure and probably a bit of frustration on his end. In the next turn, he does kill Thwacky with Dragon Pulse, which lets me bring in Nidoking safely. He didn't want to stay in with my Sludge Wave and Ice Beam both being a guaranteed KO. I know that he's not staying in there, so I go for Stealth Rocks, and I know he's not switching in Hatterene for the Magic Bounce because he doesn't want to switch in Hatterene into Nidoking. It's just not a safe move. So he switches in Steelix, I get my rocks up, which is good for me. And then big turn, big decision. I switch into Melodic while he uses Explosion with Steelix. I'm not sure if he was carrying Stealth Rocks, but I think if he did use Stealth Rocks, then it probably sways it back to almost even. But when he uses Explosion and does, you know, nowhere near enough damage to Melodic to really matter, then that sways things my way in a big way. So with me still having, you know, bulky mons like Melodic and Colossal still there and not overly threatened, and obviously still having Colossal there to potentially take out Hatterene. I still had my win cons there with Nidoking and Latias. So I was pretty confident going into the end game. I'm disappointed that we couldn't get the rest of the match in because I think that, you know, my team and the Hustle Gods have a pretty good chemistry in terms of putting together, you know, just an entertaining match. So it would have been good to finish that off, but I was pretty confident that I would come out on top. Moving on, so we're looking at the table on the screen right now. So I'll quickly go through the Armor division and I'll link in the two coaches that are still remaining on that side of the draw. So far we had the Hellblaze Volcaronas against the Calexico Blazerkins. The Blazerkins won that match in what was quite good. There was a bit of hacks involved, but I think Sen mostly outplayed and outprepped the Volcaronas, but it was a really good match to watch. I recommend you go and watch that. In another good match, the Heatmore beat the Stack Attackers. That one, they did play on Showdown, which I think might be the first game on Showdown played this season, but it was still a really good match. So then we had the Heatmore against the Blazerkins, and the Heatmore won that game. So next week it's going to be the Heatmore against the first seeded Immunity Idols, and the winner of that game will be the champion of the Armor division and will go into the championship game. In the Crown division, it was the Sydney Six against the Hustle Gods. Another good game. The Sydney Six, I'm not sure what really happened, but they messed up and they took the wrong team from an earlier round, which didn't play out well for them. The Hustle Gods got the win. I haven't seen their side of the match yet. I don't think they've uploaded it yet, but the Hustle Gods were just solid, so they potentially win that game anyway if Sydney Six brings the right team, but Side End and the Sydney Six are really good, so I can't say. And if you've watched, I defeated the Atlanta Sobble. So in the game you just watched, it was myself against the Hustle Gods, and obviously I got the win there. So I'll go up against the Austin Toros next week, and then the winner of that game will go against the winner of the Immunity Idols and Miami Heatmore. Alright, so now just going to quickly look at Kings Rock's team, which we obviously just eliminated. They had a really good season, started a little bit slow, I guess, but if we go down to their schedule, you can see they took a couple of losses up front, but then really swung it back with some good wins, and obviously the big ones at the end, beating Nido Kings and Sydney Six back-to-back. So Nido Kings was to get them into the playoffs, and then Sydney Six to obviously get them into the match against me. So a lot of credit to Kings Rock. I don't think he's done a lot of competitive stuff, especially in terms of drafts before, but you can definitely see that, you know, he really got his head around it. I think he can probably, if he drafts probably less one-dimensional team next time, not saying this was completely one-dimensional, but I think he's got a lot of potential to, you know, just be really good. You can tell in battles he's learned a lot, and you know, he plays really well. He had us under pressure in both games we played against him. So yeah, full credit where it's due. And he got heaps of kills with those top 3 mons in Zapdos, Channeler, and Glastrier. I thought he used Glastrier really well, especially towards the end when he went away from the Assault Vest sets. He seemed to, you know, really work himself out. And you can see he used Taunt against Melodic in that last one, which, you know, I thought was really cool. Alright, next up we've got the Austin Toros. So here's the lineup here. So we've both got the 2 laddies. Obviously I've got the more defensive one in Latios, and he's got the more offensive one in Latios. And you can see he's used it a lot better than I have. He's brought it a couple more times, got more kills, and died the same amount of time. His Cobalian's another threat that he used quite well in our match last time. Mamoswine did a lot of work against us last time as well. Gastrodon's a menace. Toxtricity is really hard for our team, so last time we had to use some tech with Melodic. We used Mudshot, so I don't know if we'll be able to use that tech again. That will be kept a secret until game day. You know, he's got Whimsicott, and then he's got a few others. He's used Octillery really well as well. But yeah, we'll try and figure out what we can do against his team and hopefully get the win next time, which we couldn't do last time. So here was the match last time. I recommend you go back and watch it. But Mamoswine just chipped away at our team. It wasn't a sweep, but he just did really well. It was a really, really good match. It was quite a long match, but he just edged himself further and further in front at the end, and you know, there wasn't too much more I could really do there. Okay, and there you go. So yeah, we're getting towards the end. Only 3 games left in the season, so it'll be Austin Toros versus myself and Immunity Idols against Miami Heatmore, the winners of those games in the championship games. So wish us luck, and thanks for watching through the season. So I'll post everyone else's YouTube channel who's in the finals. Definitely recommend checking them out. Thanks for watching the video.